Hello, One Piece nerds of the nations and the world. So, chapter 1047 is out, and to put my initial thoughts on it, it's sort of the same as the last chapter, but actually a little better. Honestly, it's actually a lot better. It's coming up to that expectation of what we had for 1043, 44, and 45. This felt very good. Aside from a few things in the middle, I felt like everything was set in stone and everything played out very well. Let's start off with uh, what the chapter started with. The chapter started with Momo basically doubting himself again, and we can see that his continual argument that he can't actually do it, he can't do it, he can't do it, and then him remembering the flashback of when Toki sent him to the future sort of motivates him again and he wants to try again. Well, this has been continuously set forth chapter after chapter where we see Momonosuke really trying to do something about it but really can't. I think there needs to be a trigger, and that actually happened at the end of the chapter. At the end of the chapter, we'll come to that. I think after all that push and push and push, I think we've come to the point at the end of the chapter where I think Momo has to do it. Otherwise, it's all over. Okay, moving on. We see Kaido and Luffy fight again, and we have a confirmation that Luffy is not creating lightning. Rather, there were lightning from the skies coming through because Kaido, being a dragon, maybe, or there were clouds up in the sky, and thunderbolts were like coming down, and then Luffy grabbed one of them because he has the rubber fruit and he's an insulation and whatnot. He's an insulator and he can catch rubber. Interesting, very interesting power. I probably think it's a one-off thing for now. I don't think he could produce lightning, thank God. So, uh, well, I have no complaints. It was well justified. It was fun while it lasted. So moving on, the I might not sound too enthusiastic because really the part where we're going to right now sort of pisses me off. Pisses me off to the point where it's very unnecessary. But before that, sorry, I forgot to mention one more thing. Kaido states that Roger didn't have a devil fruit, and it's been officially confirmed that Roger never had a devil fruit while he was conquering the Grand Line. That doesn't mean that he didn't have a devil fruit before his execution or after he found Raftail or Laftail. Sorry, my bad. So, I am still going to stick to the point that Roger was the previous user of the Gomu Gomu no Mi, or now the Nika fruit. After his voyage, I think he figured out that the Nika fruit had something to do with awakening the One Piece or something, and he knew it was important, and he sort of had it, and that's how Luffy got a lot of traits from Roger, because inherited will and everything like that. But that is still up for debate. But we know for sure that Roger did not have a devil fruit. All he had was a sword and haki. Now we know Shanks and Mihawk are super, super, super badass. Okay, moving on. This part, I can just gloss over it. We get more reactions. We get more reactions from like everyone down on the castle floor. And, well, it was sort of useless. It sort of is useless. We've seen enough reactions, honestly speaking. From last chapter, we've got enough reactions to the point where we understand the stakes are a little high and Raizo is trying to solve the problem. And I think that would have been enough. But this dragged on a little bit longer. I'm not going to talk about it. But what I do want to talk about is Hiyori versus Orochi. So Orochi got free. Blah, blah. I mean, hey, I didn't expect that, honestly, but we got it. I think Kanjiro's probably dead at this point. If he's not, I don't know what Oda's planning. For him, now it's the end of the act almost, and I just don't understand what his role is. His role is the one role that has been unclear all throughout, ever since Act 3. He betrayed the Scabbards, he had his redemption, but now what? Now where do we go from here? He tried to beat the Scabbards. He's done a lot of damage. I think he's done a lot of damage, honestly speaking. But from this point onwards, if he's still alive, I don't know what his role is. I don't know what's going to happen to him. I frankly don't even care. What I do care about, though, is Orochi turning into his devil fruit snake and form and trying to take Hiyori's life because daughter of Odin and whatnot. I think this is the perfect time where Denjiro will shine. I think Denjiro will come right now. All this time we've been waiting and waiting for him to show up. I think he's going to show up to protect Hiyori. That's always been sort of a little foreshadowed ever since Act 2. And wait, Act 2? Act 2? I don't know, damn it. Whatever. Ever since we knew Denjiro and Hiyori had a connection. Ever since Denjiro infiltrated Orochi's men and Hiyori was there, they knew each other and they were trying to play it off. And I think when Hiyori went to fight against Orochi, we sort of knew that Hiyori was never gonna finish the job. It was gonna be someone else, either be Zoro or Denjiro or Momo. Momo's busy with the flame clouds. I think Denjiro would definitely come, and I feel like Zoro needs a shot at Orochi. Like 100%, Zoro needs a shot at him, but I think Denjiro would come before that to sort of protect Hiyori, because as his duty that he's been doing for the past 20 years. Moving on from this point, we see Kaido's not going to play around. He's trying to get serious, and well, he states that Haki is the boss over Devil Fruits. Even if you have the most ultimate Devil Fruit power, Haki is the only thing that'll take you there, because we've seen examples all throughout One Piece. Characters like Garp, Rayleigh, Roger, Shanks, Mihawk, all of them are very, very, very good swordsmen and fighters in their own perspective. And well, all of them were specialized in Haki. Everyone had some sort of speciality in Haki, and well, I would like to presume that all of them have Conqueror's Haki. I would say Mihawk definitely has Conqueror's Haki out of everyone else, because he's the only person known not confirmed to have Conqueror's Haki. I would expect him to have Conqueror's Haki, considering who he is. So, moving from that point onwards, I think this is some sort of a foreshadowing that Luffy will not be able to rely on his Devil Fruit for much longer, honestly. Considering Blackbeard has the power of the Yami Yami no Mi, I'll get to that in a future video, but where he can erase Luffy's Devil Fruit powers, I think we're going somewhere with this. Oda just didn't put this for no reason. It will definitely it might play a huge role in this battle as well. Since both of them are drawing out, I think both Haki and their Devil Fruit powers take a lot away from them. I think ultimately what comes down to it is probably Haki, because Haki has been emphasized so much ever since Whole Cake Island that I feel like it's going to be very prevalent at this point. Yes, we got what we needed, we got the awakening, we got Luffy's new power-up, but I think ultimately what will end up happening is Luffy sort of overcoming Kaido through his willpower, does his Haki, and I think will prove Kaido right. Or maybe prove Kaido wrong, I don't know, honestly. Okay, so moving on from that point onwards, and now here comes one of the most aesthetic or very poetic scene of the chapter. Luffy gets thrown up in the air, while at the same time everyone's looking at the sky from the Flower Capital, looking at the lanterns and wishing for the dead, and where we have Luffy, the sun god Nika, up in the sky, seeing those lanterns, trying to take down the big bad from, basically pulling a hammer on him. That's what happens in the last panel, and I think that's very poetic. I think that is very, it felt right, honestly speaking. Luffy throwing a punch from the sky to put Kaido down, and basically showing that, hey, you said you were at the top, but I'm gonna put you at the most bottom of everyone else, and you're not the boss of anyone, and you're not here to rule. I think that will set a very good example, and at which point Luffy states that, Momo, you gotta work on the clouds. You have to put the clouds on Onigashima, or else I'm gonna burst out Onigashima and throw Kaido off the land. So this is the push. This is the push Momo was looking for. This is the push. This is serious. Luffy is literally holding up a giant Gear 3 hand and coated with probably armament and advanced armament and conquerors. I think this is going to do a heavy load of damage, considering I don't think Kaido can dodge this at this point. If he was at his hybrid form, maybe he would want to counterattack it, but I don't know what he's going to do particularly now that he's in his dragon form. So this is basically the final trigger that will let Momo use the flame clouds, move Onigashima out of Luffy's range, and I think is it going to end here? Is it really going to end here? I don't know. I'm very confused. Oda did say that Kaido can't just be finished with a punch. It sounds very cliche. It sounds very boring. But was he trolling us though? I think that's for another video. Considering we have another break week, I can pump out some more videos. So, will the fight end here? It might. Is Momo going to actually use the flame clouds to move Onigashima? Yes, I think the only reason why we see the last panel of Luffy holding that giant fist up and sort of signaling to Momo that, hey, it's now or never. It's either this or everyone in Onigashima literally goes down the drain. Like, almost everyone. So, I think this is the time for Momo to take charge. And, well, I mean, this signifies that. I don't know if it's, it's leading to the end of Act 3. It makes sense, really. Because if you think about it, the first punch Luffy dealt to Kaido was a giant hand with Gear 3 up from the sky in Kaido's dragon form and then beat him down. And the last punch Luffy's going to throw is the punch of Gear 5, the giant hand, the hand of a god taking down a dragon. I don't know if it signifies the end. We'll have to wait and watch. I personally wouldn't mind it ending, but this is a very uninteresting way of ending it, and I don't think Oda would take that route. But it's very fitting, honestly speaking. I won't mind with any of the outcomes that happens in the next chapter. I'm just looking forward to it. If you guys watched until this point, thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, peace.